I'm Adam. They call me the Fixer. And if you've been following, you know I've navigated the paranoid bunkers of tech giants and the fortified walls of old money. But the world of the Hollywood ultra-elite, that's a unique kind of fortress. They don't hide from governments or hackers. They hide from us. They hide from the simple, ugly reality of imperfection. And their greatest secret is this: the illusion of their flawless luxury is fragile and constantly breaking down. This particular job was codenamed Project Vanilla. The client, Kim Kardashian. The location, her infamous hyper-minimalist mansion in Calabasas, California. The problem was not just minor, it was existential. A catastrophic failure of the custom smart glass system in the primary bathroom suite. For those who don't know, this is glass that instantly shifts from perfectly transparent to fully opaque with the push of a button, the ultimate shield of privacy. When the system failed, the glass was stuck in a dreaded state of translucence, not clear, not opaque, but suspended in a fuzzy, visible fog. For Kim, this wasn't merely a malfunction, it was a fundamental, brand-destroying vulnerability. The failure of her privacy system was quite literally a failure of her meticulously manufactured public image. I was met at the heavily secured front gate by a small but intensely focused security detail. Once inside, the atmosphere was less a home, more a conceptual art installation. The entire house is a blinding study in extreme, silent luxury. Every corner is deliberately curved, every wall is textured with a single shade of white, and the air is filtered to surgical standards. This perfection is a performance. It requires an invisible army of highly paid staff, cleaners, landscapers, and yes, fixers like me, to maintain the relentless illusion that a house with absolutely no color is somehow a place where chaotic, human life actually thrives. My clearance for this job was unprecedentedly restrictive. I was only allowed in the immediate vicinity of the bathroom suite, and every tool in my bag had to be meticulously accounted for and checked with an X-ray scanner before I was allowed to step onto the sacred marble flooring. The primary bathroom suite itself was an architectural marvel of enormous proportions, built almost entirely of massive slabs of pale stone and uninterrupted glass. The infamous shower, the very epicenter of the failure, was a colossal walk-in enclosure encased entirely in this custom smart glass. The mechanism controlling the polymer liquid crystal layer within the glass was complex, built into the ceiling and the floor, accessible only through cleverly concealed access panels. My initial diagnosis, based on the external error codes, pointed to a short circuit in the low-voltage power supply. A simple fix on paper, but fixing anything within this level of bespoke complexity is terrifying in execution. As I began the painstaking process of dismantling the custom-cut floor panel to access the main wiring harness, the two security personnel assigned to me kept glancing nervously at the stuck translucent glass. Their desperation was palpable. They knew the lighting outside, the California sun, would soon shift, potentially exposing the entire interior of the shower to any high-powered lens. They were frantic about a public relations disaster, but I was focused on the technical disaster I was uncovering beneath the floor. I traced the low-voltage lines, which, instead of leading to the house's main power panel, veered off into a completely separate, heavily shielded junction box buried deep inside the wall. This wasn't standard residential installation. This was a secondary, custom-built system that went far beyond basic privacy. This system didn't just control the opacity of the smart glass, it also managed a specific, high-powered audio-visual and data synchronization link. The cable emerging from this shielded box was military-grade fiber optic, not something you find controlling a simple bathroom feature. As I prepared to replace the faulty wire, I accidentally touched a loose terminal and triggered the system's auxiliary power. The hidden panel's display, a tiny custom OLED screen, flickered to life. What flashed onto that internal screen wasn't a maintenance log or a timer. It was a live external feed and a full-spectrum social media engagement map. The shower glass didn't just go opaque for personal privacy. It simultaneously served as an augmented reality display. The system was tracking real-time mentions, sentiment analysis, and trending hashtags related to Kim and her brand. The shower wasn't just a place to wash. It was in reality a meticulously designed social media war room. The actual flaw wasn't a simple glass malfunction. It was in the custom firmware that prioritized her brand's constant global security check over the basic function of her personal privacy. I quickly replaced the faulty component, knowing I had just seen the biggest secret of their operation. The smart glass immediately snapped back to its fully opaque state with a decisive, soft click. The collective sigh of relief from the guards was loud enough to echo in the cavernous hallway. They were relieved the illusion was restored. I, however, was haunted by the image of that terrifyingly complex data map. The absolute, total dedication to manufacturing and monitoring a perfect public image, even while standing under running water. I signed the final paperwork and was paid an almost obscene amount via a secure corporate transfer and was escorted out. My tools were checked one last time. They were ensuring I hadn't taken any physical evidence. But the truth is, they can't check my memory. They can't scrub the image of that exhausting, obsessive dedication to brand management. I signed the NDA, but I left with the most valuable thing in that house, the knowledge of their fundamental weakness. Their weakness isn't a bad rumor or a faulty pipe. It's the constant, incredibly costly and intrusive effort required to maintain a reality that simply does not exist. Every polished floor, every minimalist chair, every flawless smart glass wall, it all requires continuous professional intervention. And they need me to do it. This is why I broke the code. This is why I started this channel. Because if the person fixing the flaw doesn't tell the story, then the myth of their perfection will continue unchallenged, and the truth will remain buried beneath layers of titanium and white paint. I fixed the physical problem, but the deep digital paranoia, that's a glitch that can never be fully patched. And that's the real story I'm going to tell, one secret fix at a time. If you think a smart glass war room is shocking, wait until you hear about the secret underground tunnel I found connecting two famous celebrity neighbors' homes that needed an emergency structural repair. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The next secret leaks soon.